Once again, I'm repeating you guys why we have to go for the data center automation, right? Okay. For suppose normally data center consists of a huge number of servers, okay, and storage capabilities and processing capabilities and networking capabilities. If you manually do establish a data center means a lot of things you have to take care. Purchase the servers, install the servers, maintain the servers, and power supply we have to give it. Okay, all these things we have to take in care. But if you went for the data center automation means everything is done without the human intervention, without the human administration. All these things will be like monitoring, scheduling, application deployment. All these things can be without the humans it will be done. Okay. This data center automation guys increases the agility. You can easily move and quickly to this automation. The operations are done also very smoothly here in the data center automation. Everything is not with the help of manually, it is done with automatically. Without the human interventions, all this can be done. With this help, with the help of this data center virtualization, guys, we are able to use these physical servers, okay, without the manual intervention. All these things will be hosted in the cloud side, not in the our side, guys. These physical servers, other equipment are hosted in the physical data center, not with us. Okay, that will be in the cloud side. For suppose we are using a Gmail, okay, that will be hosted in the Google server, not in our side, but we are going to use those things as it is like that is installed in your local system, as it is like that is installed in your local system. Okay, and this data center virtualization guys is just virtualization softwares. Okay, with the help of that one we are going to use those data centers softwares like servers, if we, processing capabilities and networking capabilities we are going to achieve with the help of this virtualization software. Okay, that we call them a virtual machine monitor. Okay, virtualization layer or virtual machine monitor. With the help of this one we are going to uh, virtualize these physical content, virtualize these physical servers. Okay, we already know that one. Okay, and this data center virtualization is a new era in the computing field, guys. With the help of this one we are going to virtualize the different hardware infrastructure parts. We are going to virtualize the hardware. What is the importance of this virtualization means it will effective utilization of physical servers or physical equipment. With the help of this virtualization we are going to effectively use these physical equipment, guys. And moreover that with the help of this virtualization multiple customers can share the servers. Previous example I already told this example, guys. One server, okay, on the top of that one I am able to install three virtual servers by using virtual machine monitor. Okay, these three virtual servers, okay, behaves like as it is like a physical server. Okay, with the help of this virtualization virtual servers we are going to increase the efficiency of the servers. Okay, previously one three servers are there without the virtualization. Okay, each one is effectively using for 25%, 25 25 25 three servers 75. Now with the help of this virtualization I have used only one server. On the top of that one, okay, on the top of that one I'm going to install three virtual servers with the help of virtual machine monitor. Okay, the each virtual server give the, for suppose 70 25 25 25 three virtual servers are there means each is giving a performance of 25 25 25 means overall 75. Now only one server is in. In this way we are effectively utilize the resources, we effectively utilizing the resources, and moreover that the cost is also reduced, the cost is also reduced. Oh, okay, guys. Normally, if you are went for this virtualization, okay, if you want to use any server, okay, particularly in the cloud computing, that will be in the some other location. We are going to use those services with the help of internet. For suppose I want the server capabilities from the cloud. Suppose, okay, that server is not at all there in your local system. Okay, that will be there in the cloud provider side. How you are using those services means with the help of internet you are able to connect to that server and you can get that services from that place. Okay, those are will be play in the remote location. Those services will be established in the cloud side means that will be in the remote location, guys. And with the help of this cloud using, we are going to get these services for less cost. For suppose you have used those service for 10 days, only you have to pay for 10 days cost of that server only. No need to pay extra. But if you physically install means you have to purchase that server and you have to install and you have to configure and you have to give the networking connection to that server and all the things, ESC power supply, all the things you have to manually do. But with the help of this one virtualization you are going to get for less price. That is how much you can use. For that only you have to pay. Okay. Normally, guys, these there are different services in this one cloud. The in that the main services are I already told you guys: SaaS, software as a service, platform as a service, infrastructure as a service. Okay, these are the core computing services, guys. Okay, software as a service means we are going to utilize the applications or softwares from cloud on rental basis. No need to purchase here, no need to install here, no need to update here. All the things are done by cloud provider in software as a service. Okay, only you will get the software or applications from the cloud. Okay, coming to the platform as a service. Platform means complete thing, guys. Platform means complete thing, hardwares as well as softwares it will provide from cloud. Okay, if you want the server capabilities means you can get that one from platform as a service. Okay, if you want the networking capabilities you can get it from the platform as a service. Okay, if you want to get the storage capabilities, that is also you can get it from the platform as a service. Means these are hardware. Okay, in addition to this hardware we are going to get the different applications also or softwares from the platform as a service. Complete thing we can get it from the platform as a service. Complete things as a hardware and software. If you went for this platform as a service, guys, okay, you can concentrate only on the application development, that project development only. Program writings you can concentrate. Everything other than the program writing, that is taken care by cloud provider, guys, not by you. Okay, software as a service is over, platform as a service is over. Next one is infrastructure as a service. Only hardware parts it will provide from cloud. Only hardware things like server capabilities, networking capabilities, storage capabilities. Okay, all these things. Okay, you can get it from the infrastructure as a service. You cannot get the softwares from the infrastructure as a service. Likewise, in software as a service we cannot get the hardware services. You can get only software from the software as a service. Okay, guys, these are the cloud services that is offering from the cloud computing, right? Okay, nowadays, guys, this SaaS service, software as a service, okay, that is growing continuously. That is a major part of the cloud computing. Okay, with the help of this software as a service, guys, what we can achieve, we can get only the applications or software from the software as a service. Okay, best example all we are using is Gmail. Okay, the best example here is Gmail. Okay, we all have the Gmail account. We will have the content inside the Gmail. Those things will not at all saved in your local system, but those will be saved in the Google Cloud, guys. Google Cloud servers. Okay, not in your local system. That is why from any device, if you log in with the Gmail account from any device, laptop, desktop, either mobile phone, we are able to access the content. Okay, we are able to access those content. Okay, here the one of the best advantage of this cloud computing is that, okay, we can pay only for what we can use, guys. Only for what we can use. How many days? If for suppose I have used those one service, okay, for 10 days, for each day, for suppose 100 rupees, 10 into 100, that is 1000 I have to pay. That's it. Okay, no need to pay more than that one, 1000 rupees. Okay, just I can pay it. But if you purchase the service, it will be very costly. If you purchase that server, for suppose I have a server, for purchasing it takes 10 lakhs. Okay, and installing all the things, power supply, networking things, everything I have to take care. But with the help of this cloud computing, guys, I can only use those services pay as you go basis. Okay, for 10 days means 10 into 100 rupees, each day 100 rupees, 10 into 100 means 1000 rupees I can pay it. You can get it very cheaply with the help of cloud. Okay, slide. Okay, guys, if you went for this cloud, guys, the overhead related to that maintaining physically, that will be reduced, guys. For suppose if I purchase one server, okay, for server I have to purchase that one. Okay, okay, I have give some space to place that server, and I have to give the power supply, AC, I have to give it, I have to give the networking capabilities. After that I have to install the different softwares, operating systems on the servers. Okay, and I have to give different databases, all the things I have to manually do. But if you went for this cloud means no need to do this. That is taken care by cloud provider, guys. It will free all your over the work related to physical. Okay, just you can concentrate on using that server. That is it. Okay, no need to maintain, no need to install, no need to update, all the things that is taken care by cloud provider, guys. I already told you, guys, this is a pay as you go. Okay, only we have to pay for what we can use. Okay, for suppose if I use 10 days means only for 10 days only I have to pay. No need to pay more. And one more advantage of this cloud computing is it's a dynamic updation. Okay, at any point we can increase our computing capabilities. For suppose one day, okay, I'm using one server from the cloud. One day that server capabilities is not at all uh, fulfill my requirements. I need one more server. Just one mail to the cloud provider, that's enough. They will increase. Okay, they will increase the server capabilities in fraction of seconds. Dynamically they can use. For suppose if you manually do means you have to purchase that one. Okay, you have to bring that server to your room, and you have to give everything, maintenance and power supply, AC supply, installation, updation, everything you have to take care. But if you went for the cloud means within a fraction of seconds, we are able to get that server capabilities. Okay, increased server capabilities. That is the main advantage of using the cloud. Okay, right. Okay, second unit is over, guys. From this second unit, these are the short answer questions. Okay, write it down. Long answer questions. Okay, third unit is cloud platform architecture.
Itu di susah.
Okay, guys. Cloud platform architecture. In this lesson, we are going to discuss about the architecture related to the cloud. We'll say the different cloud platforms like Amazon, Google, Microsoft, and those architectures also we are going to discuss. Here were different services, okay, deployments, all these things we are going to see in the platform architecture. Okay. In this lesson, we are going to see different service models, guys. Different models like software as a service, platform as a service, infrastructure as a service. Okay, those things we are going to discuss. Okay. Next, architecture related to the cloud computing and the different public cloud platforms like Amazon, Google, Microsoft, okay, Alibaba, all these things platforms we are going to discuss in the public cloud platforms. Next, intercloud resource management, how internally the cloud manages resources, okay, and the next, security is related to the cloud also we are going to discuss in the lesson. Okay, we already discussed this topic, guys, service oriented architecture. Okay, and the next one is message oriented middleware, also going to discuss in the cloud platform architecture. Okay, like here we are mainly concentrating the architecture issues related to the cloud computing, guys. Okay, let us recap this one. Cloud computing, we all know it, guys. It's on-demand availability of the computer resources. Okay, at any point of time we are going to take the resources from the cloud, and at any point of time we can release those resources. It's on-demand availability. Okay, right. Here we can get these different services like related to storage as well as cloud computing power, like so we can get the service server capabilities, storage capabilities, networking capabilities, processor capability, all these things we can directly get. And here when we get this one, okay, those are not actively managed by us, that is managed and maintained by cloud side, not by us, guys. Okay, we are not going to manage those things, right? Okay, we are going to use these cloud computing over the internet, guys. Without the internet, we are unable to use these services. Okay, if you want to use the hardware or software, okay, we can get it from the cloud. But without the internet, we are not able to get those services. We should have the internet capabilities and browser capabilities to get these services from the cloud. Okay, one of the best example for this one is everybody is having this Gmail. That is one of the cloud example, guys. Okay, we are going to access the files that is there in the Google server from from any location, any device. With the help of internet, we are going to access those files that is there in the Gmail. From any device we are able to access. Okay, those files are not in your local system, that will be in the cloud server, that will be there in the cloud, guys. Okay, that is in the Google Cloud. Okay, okay, guys, any file that is stored in the cloud, that is not stored in the local system. Okay, if you are using the cloud for the storage purpose, means that will be saved in the remote servers, not in your local system. How you are able to access means with the help of internet you are going to access those services. Okay, here front end means users of the cloud. Okay, the front end means users of the cloud. You are using the cloud computing services. You are using the cloud computing services, we'll call them as a front end. Back end means that is related to the cloud side, guys. Okay, right. If you want to access these from the front end means you will have the only internet capabilities. Okay, or you will have the cloud computing software. With that software we are able to access the cloud. You are able to access the files that is stored in the cloud. Okay, why we have to go for the cloud, guys? Why we have to go for the cloud? Anyone please respond. Why should we have to go for the cloud? I already explained this one so many times. Why we have to go for the cloud? అన్మ్యూట్ చేయడం కుదరట్లేదా? సరే. Okay guys. The cloud is a cost effective one, guys. Okay, cloud is a cost effective. If you purchase those servers, hardwares, all these things means the cost will be increased. For suppose if you went for the cloud means uh, if you went for the cloud means obviously you will get it for the less price. You will get it for the less price, guys. Okay, if you were for suppose if you are physically installing the server means so many burdens are there, like purchasing that one, installing, networking, establishing, okay, monitoring and maintaining all these things you have to take in care physically. But if you went for the cloud means no need to take care all these things, that will be taken care by the cloud provider. So any hardware failure, anything, okay, any data loss, that is taken care by cloud provider. The more they will duplicate the content, guys. The cloud provider will duplicate the content for providing the security to the data. For suppose one data center is at one location, that is Chennai, and the another data center is at another location, that is in Delhi. Okay, if anything happen to the Chennai data center means automatically it will connect to the Delhi server and the application will be up where you are going to use those services from the Delhi. Previously with previous some disaster, we are going to use the services from the Chennai one, but if anything happened to the Chennai, then Chennai data center, we are going to connect to the Delhi server and we are going to access those services from the Delhi server. Okay, the backup is also maintained by cloud, guys. That is the advantage. Okay, the next one is we are going to use these resources from remote. Okay, those will be not in your local system. Okay, okay. And one of the advantage one is we are going to use those services only on pay as you go basis. Pay as you go basis. Okay. Security is also provided by cloud computing side. Okay. Okay. What are the different provider for the clouds, guys? In that Amazon Web Services, AWS, from Amazon. This is the giant in the cloud computing, guys. I already told you guys. This Amazon Web Services is the giant in the cloud computing. Next one is Microsoft one, that is Azure. Okay, it's a platform as a service provider. Okay, the next one is Google Cloud Platform, GCP, Google Cloud Platform. Okay, this is from the Google, guys. Okay, next Alibaba Cloud, it's a China's cloud, guys. Next one is IBM Cloud. These are the different providers for the cloud, guys. Okay, Amazon Web Services number one. Next Microsoft Azure. Next Google Cloud Platform, GCP, Alibaba. Next IBM. These are the different cloud drive. These will provide the services like platform as a service, infrastructure as a service, hardware as a service, software as a service. All these services are provided from these uh, cloud providers. Okay, these are all mainly public clouds, guys. Public cloud means everyone. If I purchase that one means I'm able to use this Amazon Web Services. Okay, these are all the public clouds. Anyone I can access. If you pay means you can also access these services from these providers. These are the service models, guys. Okay, these things I already explained to you guys. Infrastructure as a service means it will provide the which services, guys. Infrastructure means hardware things like server capabilities, storage capabilities, processing capabilities, okay, networking capabilities. All this will comes under infrastructure as a service. Infrastructure as a service. Platform as a service means complete thing, it will provide hardware parts as well as software applications also. We can get it from the cloud for rental basis, right? Infrastructure means only hardware part. Platform as a service means both hardware as well as software. Both you will get it from the cloud. Like if you want any application means we can purchase, we can get it from the platform as a service. If you want any server capabilities means hardware, those we can get it from the platform as a service. Coming to the software as a service means if you want only the softwares, you are all having the hardware components like server you have, okay, processing capabilities you have, networking is you have, okay, everything hardware parts you already having, but you only need the software components. At that time you can go for the software as a service. At that time you can go for software as a service. The next one is types of cloud deployments. Types of cloud deployments. Okay, the normally the cloud deployment describes, guys, the way the cloud platform is implemented, how it is implemented, how it is hosted, how we are going to access the data inside the cloud. This all we comes under cloud deployment, guys. Okay, these cloud deployment normally based on the principle called virtualization of cloud resources. Okay, normally any cloud computing, guys, any cloud computing deployment, the main principle behind that one is virtualization. Okay, creating a virtualization. If you are using the services from the cloud means that we call them as a virtualization. Okay, normally uh, we are not physically using, we are using those services logically. Okay, if you want services from the, for suppose cloud server service from the cloud, okay, normally the server is not physically there, not there in your local system, but you are going to utilize as it is, that is there in your location. It will give the impression that logical way, physically it won't exist, but you are going to use those service cloud server service from cloud. Okay, no problem related to that one. Mainly, guys, these cloud deployments are categorized into 4 types. One is public cloud, private cloud, hybrid cloud, and community cloud. Yes. Hybrid cloud and community cloud. Public cloud means, guys, this cloud is available for the all the users all over the world. Anybody you want means you can access that one. Public, there is no restrictions in the public cloud. Coming to the private cloud, guys, for suppose uh, if you are going to restrict the data from outsiders, we have to go for the private cloud. For suppose in our organizations or CRD Engineering College, we have maintained one cloud, suppose that is only accessed by the, that is only accessed inside the college itself. That means we can say that that is a private cloud, guys. Okay, we that when we have the restrictions, only username password. Okay, they will provide the username password for the students and the staff members of that institution. They only can able to log in. After that login only they are able to access that cloud. They are able to access that cloud, that we call them as a private cloud. From any person outside the, for suppose any person from outside of that organization are not able to access those services from the cloud, that we call them as a private cloud, guys. Here we will give the some restrictions. Okay, we will provide some firewalls for data, we will going to provide some firewalls for the data. Okay, right, that we call them as a private cloud. Public cloud means it is available for everyone, anybody want to use the pay as you go basis, they can use it. Okay, examples of this public cloud are like Google, Amazon Web Services, okay, Microsoft Azure, Google Cloud, everything comes under this public cloud, guys. Okay, private cloud means organizational specific. For suppose CRD organization, one specific cloud is there, that we call them as a private cloud. Wipro company, that will have some private cloud. Okay, those members only inside that organization only they can access the private cloud, guys. Coming to the hybrid cloud means it's a mixture of public cloud and private cloud, guys. It is a mixture of public cloud and private cloud. Means some portion is available for the all over the world, only some portion is available for the restricted access. For suppose one TCS company is there, guys. Okay, they will develop their applications for the outside, as well as they will develop some application for internal basis also for employees. Okay, for TCS employees some data is restricted, those data will be placed in the private cloud of the TCS. Okay, after the logging the TCS employees, they are able to access this private cloud. The restriction is there. Only login after that one, authentication after that one only, they are able to access that cloud within the organization like TCS. Okay, and TCS also develop some applications that will be hosted, right? Those will be hosted for outsiders also, means public cloud. Some part is public and some part is private. Private within the organization, public for all the people. Likewise, at that time it uses hybrid clouds. Wipro is having this hybrid cloud. Likewise, TCS also is using the hybrid cloud, guys. Some part is restricted for the employees. Okay, some part is restricted for the outside. Some can access from outside also. There is no restriction for the public cloud. Likewise, it's a combination of hybrid cloud is a combination of private cloud as well as public cloud. Both will be there in this one. Both will be there in this hybrid cloud. Community cloud means nothing but a different organization, guys. For example, okay, in our Yeluru, four colleges, engineering colleges are there. Okay, we have established one database for the four organizations for like Yeluru, CRD, next degree college. Likewise, all the colleges, Ramchandra. Okay, I want to establish one cloud that is shared by only these organizations only. Only engineering college that is there in the Yeluru premises like CRD, Ramchandra, Yeluru, Yelapuri. Okay, I want to establish one cloud particular for these engineering colleges in one city. Okay, those organizations only able to access this cloud, that we call them as a community cloud, guys. Understand, guys, what is the difference between the public cloud, private cloud, hybrid cloud and community cloud? Once again I am explaining. If you are not listening, just concentrate. Okay, public cloud means anyone can access this public cloud. There is no restrictions. Okay, there is no restrictions. If you want to pay as you go, means you can go for this public cloud. Examples for this one are Amazon Web Services. Okay, next Azure, next Google Cloud, next one is Alibaba. All these comes under public cloud, guys. Coming to private cloud means we are not we are going to restrict the data inside the cloud. We are going to restrict the data inside the cloud, guys. Okay, okay, we are going to restrict. Okay, 5 minutes I put in. We are going to restrict that one here in private cloud, guys. Coming to hybrid cloud means it's a combination of the public cloud as well as private cloud. It's a combination of the public cloud as well as private cloud, guys. Okay, where we will go for this. For example is Wipro organization is there. Some internal data is there. Some application it's developing for outside also. That internal data that will be placed in the private cloud. There is a restriction for that one. Okay, now outsiders cannot access this private cloud. Outsiders cannot access this private cloud, guys. Okay, public cloud means it can be accessed from anyone. Any person can access this public cloud. Okay, any person can access. Okay, next coming to this community cloud means organizational. We can say that different organizations within they can share that data among these organizations, like engineering college in nearby Yellow. That is, four engineering colleges are there. These four engineering colleges only access this data. Only these four engineering colleges can access this data. Outsiders cannot access this one. This one comes under community. It's related to one community. Okay, if they build community, in that community only these cloud can be accessed. Okay, other than this community, outsiders cannot access this community code. Okay, we are going to go for the deeper discussion related to this public, private, hybrid, and community clouds in the next class, guys. Okay, any doubts, guys? You can ask me. Okay, guys. Thank you.